America's fight for independence is often told as a story of brave patriots taking on the mighty British Empire. We hear about George Washington, Paul Revere, and the Boston Tea Party. But behind the scenes, another country played a critical role. Without France, the United States might never have been born. Today, we dive deep into how France's money, military, and strategy helped America win the Revolutionary War. To understand France's role in America's independence, we have to rewind to the 18th century. At the time, France and Britain were bitter enemies. They'd fought in multiple wars, the most recent being the 7 Years' War from 1756 to 1763. France lost badly. It gave up massive territories in North America and the Caribbean, and its pride was bruised. So, when Britain's 13 American colonies began to rebel, France saw an opportunity not just to support liberty, but to strike back at its old rival. France's leaders, especially Foreign Minister Vergennes, believed helping the colonies could weaken Britain's global power. It wasn't just ideology, it was revenge and strategy. France couldn't publicly support the rebels at first. It would have meant war with Britain. So they got sneaky. Through fake companies and secret routes, France funneled guns, gunpowder, and gold to the colonies. One key figure was Pierre Beaumarchais, a playwright and businessman who helped set up covert supply lines. These shipments were vital in the early years. American troops were often poorly armed, hungry, and unpaid. France's aid kept the revolution alive before a single French soldier stepped on American soil. In 1777, a young French aristocrat defied his king and sailed to America to join the revolution. His name was Marie-Joseph Paul-Yves Rochilbert du Motier, but history remembers him as the Marquis de Lafayette. Only 19 years old, Lafayette paid for his own ship, ignored orders to stay home, and offered his services to General Washington. He quickly became a trusted aide and hero on the battlefield, wounded at the Battle of Brandywine, and later playing a major role at Yorktown. Lafayette was more than a soldier. He became a symbol of the Franco-American friendship. Until 1777, France was hesitant to commit openly. They feared backing a losing cause. That changed after the Battle of Saratoga, where American forces forced a British army to surrender. This stunning victory convinced France that the colonies might actually win. In February 1778, France formally recognized the United States and signed a military alliance. Now, it wasn't just a rebellion, it was a world war. With the alliance in place, France went all in. They sent an estimated 12,000 troops, trained officers, engineers, and advisors to help the Continental Army. More importantly, France sent its navy. The French Navy disrupted British supply lines, protected American ports, and eventually helped seal the final victory. French commanders like Rochambeau worked directly with Washington to plan key battles. French money also kept the revolution going. The French government loaned the U.S. what would today be worth billions of dollars, often at great risk to their own economy. The most decisive moment of the war came in 1781 at Yorktown, Virginia. British General Cornwallis had dug in, expecting reinforcements by sea. But the French fleet, under Admiral de Grasse, blockaded the coast. At the same time, French and American forces marched south and surrounded Cornwallis. Cut off by land and sea, the British had no choice. On the 19th of October, 1781, Cornwallis surrendered. The war wasn't officially over yet, but that was the knockout punch. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris ended the war. Britain recognized American independence. The United States was born, but France paid a heavy price. The war cost France a fortune. Combined with crop failures and a failing economy, the financial strain contributed to the French Revolution just a few years later. Still, France's role in America's independence remains monumental. Without French weapons, ships, soldiers, and support, there's a real chance the revolution could have failed. Today, the US and France remain close allies. That friendship was forged in revolution, sealed in blood, and strengthened by a shared belief in liberty. So the next time you think about America's independence, remember it wasn't just American courage. It was also French support. And without it, the history of the United States might look very different. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into history, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.